that you're going to come up the racetrack, and right there it worked as Priest gave him just a little bit of room and then drove it into one hard. As a team owner, that's never a great thing to see when your team cars are banging fenders like that.
Well, so far it's a walkaway for Shane Van Gisbergen. This is all happening on your screen almost 2 seconds behind the race leader. But it's Carson Hocevar trying to hold on to the final transfer spot.
Yeah, and I think Hocevar's car, I mean, it's a tenth or a tenth and a half off, but he's got that second lane to where he can defend himself. He can put his car in that second lane, and they can't finish that pass in that bottom lane so far.
As Brad Keselowski did at the head of his heat, the first heat yesterday, for the All-Star lineup. You get in that top groove and you're the leader, you're hard to deal with.
When we started practice, we saw this racetrack be pretty traditional on the bottom of the racetrack, kind of middle lane through 1 and 2. But as you run, I think that the groove will start to spread out as the lap times start to slow down a little bit.
All right, here's Van Gisbergen's radio.
Slow down, save myself. You can just match him if you need. By 10, you're still a tenth and a half better. You're in a 70 or 85. Just match him, it'll probably get here, just not burn it up.
Watching the weather tech on board for Van Gisbergen, who's having a nice Sunday drive.
Well, he's loving what he sees in the mirror. Those cars side by side, I feel like Hocevar's holding this clan up and he's dropping off into the sunset. So much the fact that he's asking him to try to slow down. It's a good feeling, isn't it, Kevin?
It is a good feeling when you're driving off like that. The bad news is the caution's going to come out at about halfway, and you're going to have to do it all over again.
Larry Mack?
Yeah, Mike, I don't know if y'all are looking out the window of the booth, but the sun is gone now. There's clouds throughout the entire sky. It feels like it's dropped about 10 to 15 degrees. That could weigh in decisions that these crew teams make when that caution comes out here in a few laps.
Interesting.
And the reason that is interesting is what we saw yesterday. From the first heat to the second heat, shadows on the racetrack, and when that sun goes behind the clouds and the sun starts to go down, the pace starts to stay more consistent. The fall off becomes less. So
you're going to see some aggression here. He won't be as nice as that teammate was to him.
Priest had a nose underneath Hocevar, and he's done it again.
Yeah, the strength of that 60 car right now is he's able to drive into the corner really hard.
Stay focused on your marks right here. Make you pass you on the bottom.
Yeah, and that radio's from the 77 car, and like we said, that's the best defense, because right there you see that car, Ryan Priest, kind of hop around. Really hard to get the back tires underneath you right there when that car is trying to bounce off the ground.
Probably pretty early to lay too much of a fender on it. You can't make him too mad. Like you said, Kevin, a caution's going to come out, and that favor might come back to haunt you.
I don't know, Clint. I don't know that it's ever too early to try to get that track position. Just make sure you knock him up far enough to make sure he's a couple cars back.
That's my point. We're going to re-rack him here in about 20 laps.
Well, the thing about these cars is you just restart and being able to launch. We saw yesterday the tires pick up a lot of debris. They're heated up compared to a sticker tire. So that restart becomes a lot easier to do on cold sticker tires compared to the older tires. I would assume that as fast as Shane is running out front, I would say their call is definitely going to be to stay on the racetrack. Their car is pretty fast, but
what if everybody pits behind you?
And that's the problem, right? If you don't have a couple of them that are on defense in between you, then it's going to be hard to make that to keep that advantage that you had.
Now last night, Christopher Bell almost bowled over his right front tire changer as he came out after a 2-tire change. Watch this, Todd Gilliland. Yeah, same move.
I'm going to put that on the changer. He wasn't looking and wasn't ready for that car to leave.
Yeah, he definitely trotted over there instead of going full speed.
Yeah, the other guy had hot feet. His feet weren't so hot.
Good thing is everybody's okay. All right, in about 4 laps, we should see the All-Star caution for this open race. As A.J. Allmendinger drops underneath Justin Haley for 10th place.
That's the old-fashioned slide job there.
Regan?
Mike, just an update on the 4 car of Noah Gregson, another one of those front row motorsports cars, also having some issues inside of it. Power reverse steering is what's causing him to slide back from the third place that he started.
Rather Gregson back in 13th. Van Gisbergen and Hocevar in the transfer spots. Ryan Preece has dropped about 7/10 of a second behind Hocevar in third.
This looks good on Shane Van Gisbergen, Kevin. You've talked about this last year with Logano and his bid for the championship. It all started here. It turned around. This is a good shot in the arm for them, and it can be just that for Shane Van Gisbergen as well.
Yeah, and we've seen through the years, we've seen a lot of people turn their season around from a performance standpoint. These races give you an opportunity to try new things, and when you hit on something, it can send you in a lot better direction than what you started the year with.
Two Toyotas fighting for 8th place here. NASCAR has not committed to an exact lap for the competition yet, but we expect it at the end of lap 50. Woohoo! Larry.
Yeah, Mike, I'm going to stick to my guns, especially as much as the track is cooling down. When this caution comes out here in the next lap or two, I think everybody will pit, but I really feel like two tires, right side tires like we saw Adam Stevens and Christopher Bell do last night, I think that's the way to go. But you have to have a good handling race car to make that work. And then the bottom line is, we're probably not going to go back racing until about 37 or 38 laps to go in the race possibly, or maybe about 48 laps to go.
All right, the starter has the caution flag in hand as we complete lap 50. There it is. This is the all-star caution. Shane Van Gisbergen leading by